I'm Scott Hansen. I'm a professor at Southern Utah University, and this module of SolidWorks will include instruction on how to create the camshaft lobe and use of the relation tools. So we'll move our cursor up to the little white piece of paper. We'll left click one time, left click on Part, left click on OK. We'll left click on the Sketch tab, left click on the Sketch icon, move our cursor to the front plane. When it becomes highlighted, we left click one time. We'll right click, left click on Display Grid, and we'll start with two circles, and then we'll add relations, or otherwise known as constraints, to these circles and some of the geometry associated with those circles. So we'll left click on the circle command. We'll move our cursor to the origin. We'll left click on the origin, drag a circle out. We'll left click, right click, select. We'll left click on Smart Dimension, and we'll left click on the edge of the circle, and we'll dimension this circle to a 2-inch diameter. And then we'll left click on the green check mark. And then we'll left click on circle icon again. This time let's have a circle drawn that is not in alignment with the center. Don't accidentally constrain the edge of it on the center, which is shown here. So let's have a circle that looks just like what's shown. We'll left click, then we'll left click on the circle icon, left click on Smart Dimension, and we'll dimension this to a 1. Then we'll left click on the green check mark. Now if we go up to the Display, Delete, Relations, we'll drop this arrow down. We're going to left click on Add Relation. So we'll left click on Add Relation. We'll left click on the center of the first circle and the center of the second circle. And then a list over in the Add Relations panel will pop up of all the different options. And it's suggesting vertical, which is what we want. We're going to left click on vertical, and it will line those circles up. And then we'll left click on the green check mark. Now we'll left click on the line command, and we'll move our cursor over to the very edge of the circle, but rather than left clicking, we're going to right click. We'll go down to the very bottom and left click on Quick Snaps, and we'll left click on Tangent Snap. So we'll left click on Tangent Snap, and we'll put it where we think it's going to be, about right there above the quadrant. Left click. Then we'll move our cursor down and we'll go through the same scenario. We'll right click, go down to Quick Snaps, move our cursor up and left click on Tangent Snap again. And the line is hooked to the cursor, so if you see it hooked to the wrong side, just move the cursor to the right side and left click one time. And we'll right click, select. And we'll go through this procedure again to add the other line. So we'll left click on the line command, move our cursor to the circle. Once it becomes highlighted, we right click, left click on Quick Snap, left click on Tangent, and we'll left click up here. We'll drag a line. We'll right click again, left click, move your cursor over Quick Snap and left click on Tangent Snap, and it already puts it in place, so we just left click, then we right click, left click on Select. Then we'll left click on Smart Dimension, and we'll dimension a distance between each one of the centers. We'll drag that out and we'll enter a 2, and we'll right click, left click on Select. Then we'll use the Trim command to clear out these circles. So we'll left click on Trim Entities, make sure that our options are set to Trim to Closest. We'll left click on the inside of the circle, and we'll right click, select, then we'll right click, exit sketch. We'll left click on the Features tab, left click on Extrude, and we'll enter 0.25 For the extrusion thickness, we can enter ½ inch, I guess, 0.5. And we'll left click on the green check mark. And we'll left click out in this white area. Now we need to put a hole in the bottom of this, so we'll move this cursor over the edge, front surface of the cam lobe. We'll right click and left click on sketch. We'll move the cursor up to the circle command, left click on circle, move the cursor to the origin, left click and drag a circle out, right click, select, left click on smart dimension, and we'll left click, drag dimension out, and we'll enter 0.25. And we'll left click on the green check mark, we'll right click, left click on exit sketch, left click on extruded cut, and we'll left click on the green check mark. And we'll left click out in the workspace here. So you should have a cam lobe that looks similar to what is shown here. And we'll go ahead and save this. Just call it lobe 1. And that concludes this module on creation of the cam lobe and use of the relations tools. And the piston case, the lifter, and the cam lobe will be used in the following module in an assembly on how to use the mechanical mates constraint command.